Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Plant-Based Morning Show. It is Tuesday, November 14th, week before Thanksgiving week before Doug's race, uh, weekend of Diwali just happened. I don't know if that's lasts more than one day. People in my neighborhood were shooting fireworks for more than one day. So I don't know when it ends, or if it's just a one day thing. Anyway, yeah, good show today. Jam-packed weather report, a couple articles to talk about. I don't know if we'll get to both, maybe just one, but should be fun. So let's see. I'm adding Doug into Instagram here. Little delay on that, as sometimes happens. In the meantime, I'll remind you we are sponsored by Complement. That's lovecompliment.com. Best vegan multivitamins, products, supplements, whatever you want to call them. Invented it because we couldn't get everything we needed from a plant-based diet. We're having to take all different bottles of pills and things. So we said, let's just make one solution. So you just have to take one pill, one type of pill, even if you got to take multiple of them in the day. Okay, Doug added to Instagram. There he is. Looks very bright and weird in your house. What's going on?
I don't know.
Looks foggy or something.
Yeah, it does look foggy. Huh.
No idea. No, that's a little better.
Maybe
the camera had some fog on it.
Down that blind a little bit.
Maybe.
All right, I'm back. How's it going, Matt? Happy Diwali.
Thank you. There's a good Office episode on Diwali. If you're not familiar with the holiday and its customs, that will probably not get you much closer to being familiar. There's just some goofy, funny stuff.
I think it is like 5 days or 4 days or something. So.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I would look forward to more fireworks. They went crazy with the fireworks 2 nights ago. It seemed like there was a war going on outside my house. And then we found yesterday the fireworks in the backyard. The houses are across the street in front of us, and so they were
wow,
shooting warning shots over the bow. Yeah, it was crazy.
Wow, that's wild.
It was. But anyway, it's fun. The house is all lit up and everything, and good stuff. So,
good.
Yeah, people were here. Dale Stevens, Garuda Legends, early today. That's good to see.
All right.
Mr. Jeffrey says, good afternoon. Where is he in the world? Somewhere else, maybe? Leslie Knight on mile 5 of 7. That's kind of a short run for Leslie Knight today compared to the typical 20 miles she's doing in preparation for a 100-miler, I think. Matt O'Connor, Anne-Marie, Mr. Jeffrey says, how were the dogs at the fireworks or with the fireworks? The puppy is fine. He doesn't seem to, maybe he's young enough that it just, I don't know, hasn't had any bad experiences. But the other one just gets spooked easily. So she didn't like it as much, the foster dog. Yeah, that's the bummer about fireworks is the animals, not just that live in houses, but live in the nature around.
In the wild. Sure.
Yeah, they abandoned their homes for a while. So I really don't like fireworks anymore because of that. Speaking of which, I don't think I ever said this. I saw at the Charlotte FC game against Messi's team, they at halftime they had a drone show.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
I've never actually seen one. Was it any good?
I hadn't either. It actually really was cool. I think it would get old. It doesn't have the, stunning, impressive factor of a fireworks show with the sound and the, just much larger degree of flashing of light. But they did really cool designs, and it was cool to see things materialize really quickly, and then they do interesting stuff. So it was kind of cool. Not just kind of. It really was cool the first time I saw it. I don't think I'd, you wouldn't get the same thrill out of that 4th of July year after year.
Yeah.
But it's cool to see what they can do, and I really like that it is doesn't harm the animal habitat. It doesn't make the animals leave.
I've never seen one, and I do think I can understand that it might get old. Also, fireworks get old for me too, though. I mean, there's like maybe 5 minutes of being interested in fireworks for me.
Yeah,
and then it's just like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Good. All right. Well, let's see. Brandon Turner is here. Garuda Legends says, I've been learning to cook vegan food for down-to-earth people like y'all too. See, that's great. Garuda Legends always chimes in with those kind of comments, and I appreciate that. That's great to hear. Kate, aka Rivercat, D1 to know Adventure Coat, Phyllis Hauser. So, lots of familiar names here. Good to see everyone. Over on Instagram, Catify M Vegan says they do want a Disneyland parks to reduce the harm of fireworks. So that's cool. But see, I would have thought that like on a contained place like Disney, there's not a whole lot of nature anyway. But maybe there is. I don't know. But yeah, thank you, Catify. Go over to YouTube, by the way, if you want the better experience. YouTube.com/NoMeatAthlete is the better show.
Did you have a good weekend, Matt? Any interesting food or?
I went to
activities?
Atlanta. Didn't do any slutty vegan or anything like that. Didn't do
Okay.
any vegan wangs, which I was also kind of on my list. I went to a Spanish restaurant it was sort of like a chain, like a Chili's kind of vibe, but it was Spanish. And usually with Spanish food, it's expensive and it's fancy kind of restaurants. So this was actually nice. It was like Chili's prices, but it was Spanish food.
Huh.
So that was kind of cool. But otherwise, nothing really that special about the food that I ate. Went to Taco Bell once, no issues. Didn't even think about vegan nacho cheese. I'm sure
Was it still on the board?
I didn't see it, but I didn't really look.
Okay.
I just ordered what I always get. So yeah, that's it. How about you? Anything good?
No, it's kind of a Katie and Eliza, my oldest, were traveling this weekend. So it was me and my youngest, and we just kind of bopped around, did a lot of like tater tots and vegan ice cream, and just kind of, keeping ourselves busy, eating a lot of less than stellar food. Oh, you know what I did have was I had an Impossible Smash Burger or whatever the one of those was. They got a restaurant.
Beyond, right?
Beyond, yeah, whatever it was. But it was one of those smash burgers at a restaurant. And
you think did they use the smash patty, the branded smash patty, or they just smash a regular?
I think that they used the smash patty. It just, the whole experience was a little bit different, but not really different. It tasted, or it crisped up a little bit more like a smash burger would, not like a thick juicy burger.
Right. Okay. And where was that?
That was at a place called Rail Yard in DC, or in DC, in Black Mountain.
Okay. Huh. Funny. They're getting around. Good. Well, we got a little news this morning about Impossible Lite. Speaking of these, spin-off burgers that they're making now in a desperate attempt to drum up interest, I guess. But anyway, we'll get there in a minute. So you got you have your 100K coming up this weekend.
That's
right.
Correct? That's right. Okay, Saturday morning.
You're pretty close. Have you just fully stopped running, or what are you doing now? What kind of miles?
I ran today. Ran a little over 4 miles this morning, and I'll probably do like 2 or 3 miles on Thursday. But then that's it.
That's it. Okay. Wow.
That's it.
You got no crew. You just know where the aid stations are. You're gonna have drop bags, you said.
That's right. No crew. Got drop bags. My buddy who's running it as well is gonna come over for lunch today, which is why I have to stick to a timeline, because we're gonna talk through some logistics. But yeah, I think I'm just kind of rolling with it. Katie's at the grocery store right now. I gave her a list of food to pick up for me, and stock up those drop bags and hope for the best. What's
list of foods? Give us a quick rundown of the most popular items.
So some bars, some gummies, things like that, of course, but coconut water, wraps, peanut butter, and raisin wraps, some fruit, some watermelon, and some bananas. And then for the finish line, I'm gonna pre-make that those noodles, those like Thai, like basically freeze-dried Thai dishes that you put water into and put it into a thermos and have that waiting for me.
Okay.
Both at one of the drop sites and also the finish line.
All right, good. So you won't be running overnight, hopefully.
Not overnight, but it starts at 4 a.m. and I anticipate ending around 8 or 10 p.m. So be starting in the dark and finishing in the dark, but not overnight, which is a big difference. Makes a big difference.
Yeah, I guess it is. I mean, in my 100-miler, I was up for, obviously you're up for 24 hours. It doesn't really feel like if you were like at a sleepover at somebody's house and trying to stay up for 24 hours. Like I don't feel that kind of, never felt that kind of sleepy. So yeah. I guess it's not a big reduction of, it's not like you lose it. It's not like it's so much easier because you don't sleep. Is that right? But it's just because you're running so many hours in the dark in a 100-miler, it's somewhat different.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like the 3 a.m. time period for me, it was always like, the last couple hours before sunrise in a 100-miler has always been very, very, I've gotten really sleepy and kind of out of it. But at that point, you've been running for nearly 24 hours.
Right.
And so, yeah, I don't know. Good question. But I'm not as stressed about the night as I would be, even though it'll still be, because it'll be dark by 6. So it'll still be, probably 7-8 hours in the darkness.
Yeah.
Um,
right.
Yeah. It's not all that stressful because it's not that overnight.
Right.
I know that I'll finish.
Yeah.
Or I don't know that I'll finish, but I'm hoping to finish before midnight, on the same day that I started.
Yep. Mr. Jeffrey wants to know if we will be able to follow along at all.
You will, yeah. We have GPS trackers we have to wear. This race has a lot of required gear, which is new for me too. I think just because of the time of the year and in the mountains. But yeah, there'll be a GPS tracker that we all have to carry around, and so I'll send that out in the Discord. You can follow along.
Good. If you're not there, nomeatathlete.com/Discord is the way to get in and see that extra kind of show related content.
Yeah.
All right. Stephen Dunn is here. Haven't seen him in a while. Good to see you, Stephen. Always nice to see you. We talked about Stephen a good bit last time. I forget what it was about, but something Irish, I think, maybe. I don't know. Garuda Legend says
I once stayed up for 5 days to test myself. I was delusional after 4. I mean, after 4, I can hardly believe that it took that long for you to get delusional.
Don't you crazy. Die after 6 days of no sleep? Aren't you getting pretty close?
That's wild. It would take me a month to recover from that.
I mean, I couldn't do it. Even if I tried to test myself, I think I'd be asleep by like 3 a.m. on the first night. Yeah. Like I can't stay up all night. Wow, I mean, because the way they do it, like when they do studies, I think they have like a special room where like the floor moves every time you start falling asleep, so you crash into the wall. Like how you on your own.
Is that right?
5 days. Yeah, I mean, I think it's sadly again for animal, studies.
Oh,
but I think that's how they do it. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, sleep. I was just talking to my daughter about that because she tried to do an all-nighter, unbeknownst to me, while Aaron was away in my house. She and her friend, I thought they were in bed, but they were trying to stay up. So they made it until 2:30 or something. But I was telling her just how much your body needs sleep and how horrible it is to be sleep deprived.
That's funny. Just to see if they could do it. Just have
they were trying to beat some other friend's record. The other friend had stayed up until 4, so they were trying to beat that.
That's hilarious.
All right, Britters says, good morning. Good morning, Britters. And Dale Stevens says, that's good to have all that gear. We don't want to lose you. That's right. We don't want to lose Doug. That show wouldn't be the same. For like a week, the show would be morning if we didn't have that.
A whole week.
Yeah. Okay. So that's all I got. Anything else, Doug, before we jump into our thing here? Oh, there was a request on Instagram from Daniel Broccoli. He says, do you have any ideas for Thanksgiving roast alternatives? We talked about those last week, some different brands. We do have a Thanksgiving article today that we'll get to. So that'll be near the end of the show, second half of the show, probably. It actually doesn't mention Thanksgiving roast alternatives. It mentions all these other options, but we can maybe throw that in real quick.
Lentil loaf.
Lentil loaf. That's what you think?
That was my alternative for years. Yeah. The Oshiglo's lentil loaf with they have the glaze that you pour over top of it. Yeah. Very good. Very delicious. We did that for years. I haven't done it in a while because now I'm into the roasts, but
yeah. I would have trouble getting excited about a lentil loaf the way you used to get excited about turkey, and the way I can still get excited about the roast, just because it seems meaty and chewy, and lentils are just, they're just lentils. They're humble food.
I know, but they're delicious. But it's all about the sauce, like the little gravy and glaze you put over top.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. I'm sure it is good. Just I don't know. Thanksgiving once a year. Yeah. Anyway, like you said, you've moved on to the roast.
Yeah. I have moved on, so I'm not going to defend it too much because I don't need it.
All right. Good. So let's jump in here. Like I said, long weather report. I even had to push stuff into tomorrow because there was so much content today. I know. Sound machine probably not going to cooperate, I'm guessing, today. So I will just begin the weather report, and if we get the music, it'll be even better. Here we go. This is the exciting one to me. Chipotle founder and ex-CEO Steve Ells, E-L-L-S, is coming back to the food industry with a new concept he's calling kernel, like a kernel of corn. And it's meat-free, and it's made by robots. So it's Chipotle. We know is participating or experimenting with the robots making the food. So not shocking then that this founder and ex-CEO would also be doing that. But like this is their whole model. They're using the robotic technology to help in the kitchen. It all happens with minimal people. There are people involved who will do the final touches, package the orders, pop them into cubbies, etc. But so it sounds like, hop into cubbies for the customers to collect. Like this is like hyper efficient food service thing where you're not going to have a lot of friendly human, right? It's just go get your food, and it's probably going to be affordable as a result. Of course, it's plant-based. Not of course, I think I said at the beginning, but because it's plant-based, you can imagine even more efficiency and just things working pretty well. Here's the interesting thing. Well, this is all interesting, but they're making plant-based sandwiches and sides, emphasizing legumes and vegetables over newer meat alternatives. But he said that the veggie burger, for instance, is not this is not as interesting as I said. The veggie burger is not attempting to mimic beef or pork. Aims to appeal to a broad audience beyond just vegetarians and vegans. So that actually is cool, right? It sounds like it would be actually healthier food than the Impossible and Beyond burgers we were just talking about. When I first read that, I thought that they were doing that thing that we've talked about before, where like technology would enable us to create sort of new foods that we've never really had before.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I thought they were just making veggie burgers that were something different, that weren't really any particular meat. They were just meaty veggie burgers, but that's not right. They're veggie burgers. Which
where did this come from? Who wrote this?
This is from Veggeconomist.
Interesting. Veggeconomist would say, not attempting to mimic beef or pork, so that it appeals to an audience beyond vegans and vegetarians, implying that the imitation beef and pork doesn't appeal to the non-vegans.
Right. That is interesting. You're right.
Which is what we're seeing, right? That's kind of the problem with all these.
Yeah, it was meant to be the mainstreamers would want the Beyond burgers, but they don't. They didn't. So, yeah, that is interesting. All right, moving on here.
Hold on. Before you do, I got a question.
Okay.
If you're going... now it starts. If you were going to... Would you rather work by yourself in like a little shop where there isn't a ton of technology, but it's just you kind of doing your thing, selling your stuff, making a little sandwich or selling a jewelry or whatever? Or would you rather work in a restaurant where, typically 15 people would work, but it's all robots and you? Because to me, that's a very different experience. I would rather work on my own in a little shop where like I create everything and sell everything.
Right.
Or versus next alongside a whole bunch of robots. And then I'm like the one remaining human that has to like package it up. And
yeah,
that'd be super depressing to me.
Yeah, it kind of would. You're right. I think I would choose the other one on my own. Still feel like you're important. Whereas in this,
exactly.
If you feel like you're unique, you're the only human. You're the only one who can do this job. All the other beings there have to do the, I don't know. Can't do it.
Then one of those robots breaks, and you're like having to like chop vegetables in a little spot that's not intended to be chopped,
or decides it wants your job, and then you're it comes
just
to
like
life,
spins around with the knife and starts like
exactly. Yeah. I think I would choose. I was thinking, what if the robots were AIs and they start talking to you as you're there for the day?
No, that's funny.
Would people like carry on conversations with robots? I don't think I would. Like if your Alexa started talking to you, and like just said, if it interrupted and say, "Hey, how's it going?" Even if it was able to give good responses, I don't think I would talk to it. I would have no interest in talking to that thing. Which I
think I would maybe have some sing-alongs.
Yeah. All right. Other news: Burger King Puerto Rico has created their 15th plant-based restaurant, Burger King.
Wow!
But it's in Puerto Rico. It's powered by the vegetarian butcher. It's called La Casa Veggie, and the sign looks like a Burger King sign, but it says La Casa Veggie, and the motto is "Try the green side of flavor." I'm not sure. I don't know. I didn't see the motto written, so I don't know if that's like in Spanish somewhere, and maybe translates a little bit snappier than that. Anyway, it's in Plaza Trujillo Alto. Full veggie experience, including plant-based versions of the Burger King classics such as Whopper, long chicken sandwich, nuggets, and other options. And they've also launched all these veggie options on the regular menus in all of Puerto Rico. So this is what we need in the United States. I don't know why they would do it in Puerto Rico, but not here, because this isn't Europe anymore. We know Europe is ahead, but maybe there are different different tastes, and there's more
Is
appetite
Puerto
for
Rico
this.
ahead? I don't think of Puerto Rico as I don't think of most Latin American countries or I guess they're not a country, but Latin American spots being all that vegan forward.
No, I don't either, but I don't know. So anyway, it's good. Oh, I think it's a permanent location from what I can tell, but we've kind of been faked out before where we think this stuff is happening, and it turns out to be a temporary pop up or something.
Yeah, right.
But who knows? Looks like it's permanent. All right, as I said before, Impossible Foods' newest product, the Impossible Beef Lite, has now secured certification from the American Heart Association's Heart Check Food Certification Program, and it's the second plant-based meat product to get that. Beyond Meat's Beyond Steak got it in May, and then Beyond did like a advertising campaign about how healthy their tacos were. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is okay, but I've heard the Heart Association stuff can be lobbied for and there are really weird foods that don't seem to like they should have it that do. Maybe that's not fair. I don't know all the details, but I just remember seeing some examples that were kind of weird. So yeah, I mean, Impossible Beef Light, it's 45% less total fat than animal beef or than lean animal beef even. It's protein rich, high in fiber, iron, B vitamins, etc. So I guess it's good. I mean, I don't know. Doesn't really make it too much healthier in my book because of all the junk in there. But less coconut oil. That's good.
Catify vegan, Catify me vegan. Says she just grabbed the light. She just grabbed the light, but hasn't cooked it yet.
Okay.
There you go.
Good. Well, yeah. Let us know how that is. Catify vegan. I don't think I've ever seen it in the store.
No.
All right. Speaking of items in the store, there are a bunch of new ones. Daring Foods, whose chicken things you can find in Whole Foods and a couple other places, maybe Target. I've tried it. It's kind of interesting. It's a different texture than the others. Not better, not worse. But anyway, they've got a bunch of these like bowls now. These meals that are ready to eat. Throw in the microwave and eat them. Spicy fajita plant chicken bowl, teriyaki plant chicken bowl, harvest plant chicken bowl, and penne primavera bowl. And the fifth variety is Daring Times Fly by Jing Fried Rice Plant Chicken Bowl. I mean, who knows what all that means? But that's their fifth flavor. And it's available exclusively at Target as part of a collaboration with. Okay, so Fly by Jing is a company that makes Sichuan chili.
They did a partnership.
Yeah, so
Daring and Fly by Jing.
Okay, I got it. Fly by Jing. That makes sense. I wasn't putting all those words together. I thought it was Daring.
A collab.
Right, nice collab. Speaking of collabs, you hear about the Crocs and McDonald's collab? That just happened.
No. What?
Yeah, they put out Crocs, like these goofy looking shoes that are like the McDonald's characters. And I think they even have socks that go with them, so you can have like Grimace on your feet, basically. I don't know who would buy that. I just does not make sense to me why someone would say must have McDonald's characters on my feet.
Do your kids wear Crocs?
My kids wear Crocs. I'm mostly
Crocs
opposed
are
to them.
So big now.
Oh, like they were popular?
Yeah, like they were popular when, like a long time ago when they first came out. Yep. And then they just kind of seemed to die. Now they're
You're right.
They're a huge part of
You're right.
Pop culture now.
My kids are big into the Croc charm things, which are called like gibbets or something. I don't know what they're called. So you express yourself through your charms. It's like pieces of flair in that movie Office Space. Remember that one?
Yeah.
So you put the pieces of flair on your Crocs. Anyway, the new Daring Bowls are at Sprouts Farmers Market, Publix, and Target. I don't think, Doug, that I've ever, maybe once, I think I might have at Walmart. I don't know. But like, for some reason, I don't have an appetite for these bowls with vegan meat in them. Do you ever buy these things?
Never have. Nope.
Do you ever eat that kind of food, period? Like for your family?
Do I ever do what?
Or do you ever eat those things? Like, do you ever buy any kind of frozen bowls, even if it doesn't have plant meat in it, like a Thai noodles or something frozen? No.
The only thing frozen that we get really is we get things that are frozen, but the only like meal I guess is some of those burritos, those little like bean burrito things. Right.
Yeah, it's just weird. I don't know. Like, I think it's just a different phase of life. Maybe once you kind of have a family, you're typically not wanting to give everybody frozen meals. So maybe you buy them for.
It's too expensive.
They're expensive. Yeah, it's nice to have no cleanup. That's really nice. But you also can't serve everybody at once because you got to microwave 4 different 5-minute meals, and it just doesn't work well.
And I mean, I'm looking at these Daring Bowls are $8, right? So
yeah, right.
I mean, like, might as well spend a couple more bucks and go out to dinner. or order takeout.
That's a good point. Yeah. So anyway, that explains why I've never gotten these things or had any interest. It's interesting that they exist, but I don't know. Similarly, Wicked Kitchen has got their new stuff. I mentioned that I had a Wicked Kitchen pizza 2 weekends or last weekend, I think.
Yep.
That was pretty good. I didn't know it was part of any larger line, but apparently it is. They've been expanding rapidly. They're saying it's the largest plant-based product rollout in U.S. grocery history.
Wow.
No, sorry. This expansion comes 2 years after the company's entry into the U.S. market in 2,500 stores across the country in what they can. So that was the largest in history. But what they've done recently, they've got a presence in major retailers like Kroger, Walmart, 7-Eleven. Recently acquired alternative seafood brand Good Catch is available in Whole Foods Market and Sprouts. They've further penetrated regional grocery chains, including Giant Eagle, Giant Company, Maher, and others. Now at Target, they've got Hearty Rigatoni, Veg Bolognese, and Rockin' Chili Mac, both of which look kind of good on the pictures.
These are frozen bowls, or what are they?
Yeah, I think they're the same thing.
Huh.
They're like Stouffer's sort of things. They already had 4 frozen ones: Cowboy Chili, Bangin' Biryani, Tofu Curry, and Seriously Sriracha Tofu. So I don't. For some reason, I think Wicked Kitchen is good about like the stuff they use. I don't know. I just feel like their stuff is a little bit healthier than some other things might be.
I've never had it. Never had Wicked Kitchen.
Yeah, I
only have ice cream apparently.
Yeah. Good. Making moves. All right. Continuing, Meati, who makes the mycelium-based meat products. They've now got an entire line of vegan meats. Crispy Bites, which is their take on vegan chicken nuggets, and 3 forthcoming products. This is all from Veg News, by the way. Spicy crispy cutlet, garlic and black pepper steak, and Italian seasoned cutlet set to hit its online marketplace in December. And finally, also from Veg News, Delta has added a bunch of vegan things to its menu, including oat milk coffee creamer, which got them PETA's Compassion on Board Award for being the first major airline to offer the oat milk creamer on all of its flight menus. So Delta would be your I think current leader as far as plant-based options on U.S. flights goes.
I don't put creamer in my coffee, but if I was on a flight and I got coffee and they had vegan oat milk creamer, I would do it.
But I thought you wouldn't do airplane coffee.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Mr. Jeffrey followed up with some articles that told me I was full of.
Oh yeah, full of what
crap.
You thought the coffee was full of.
Yeah, exactly. Full of fecal matter.
Well, that's good. Yep. So he debunked that. And
I think he debunked it for me.
Stephen may have even defended the airlines as far as their coffee.
He did. Yeah,
I forget.
Definitely.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think I might do that too. I think I don't really ever get creamer in coffee, but if I saw that on the plane, the airplane's just like a time to do something different. You zig
exactly. It's a little, live a little,
Yeah, right. I got a ginger ale every now and then.
You're drinking a beer at 7 a.m.
Right. Yeah, right.
Might as well follow that up with a coffee with some creamer in it.
I think that's right. It's a good way to live. All right. So there you go. There's your weather report. Didn't even get to the cultivated pet food news and things like that. We'll talk about that stuff tomorrow. But lots of new products.
Yeah, and lots of comments here. Leslie Knight says, going back to the sleep thing, the world record for no sleep is 11 days, but Guinness won't do it anymore because it had such bad permanent effects on his health. Wow, it's crazy.
5 days would must have affected Garuda Legends' health in some way. It's just terrible. It seems like for a month you'd be feeling the effects of that.
Yeah. R&R, who is a new commenter.
Yeah, hello R&R. Like new commenters.
Yeah, says everyone always says I like everything but the turkey. We don't bother with any roast. We just make awesome vegan food for everyone.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, and that seems to be the approach of this article we're going to get to. I think I used to do that too. I think we used to just. When I would go to Thanksgivings, I would bring a side that I knew we could eat, and I'd find other sides that maybe we could eat there, or at least salad and bread, and it worked fine. But yeah, I don't know. Once I had that roast, I think I sort of now I need that. Like now I like the idea of having a centerpiece.
It's good. It's good. Having something that's a little different. Garuda Legend says that and most Caribbean people eat home cooked food that is plant based. Just unhealthy vegan.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
And Stephen Dunn has the vegan butcher taken taken hold in the North American market yet. It's a Dutch company that was bought by Unilever.
No, I don't think I've seen. I see the Vegetarian Butcher name all the time, but that's always in European stories. So I don't think they have made it over here yet. We have other vegan butcher companies, but none is like super mainstream.
Dale's wearing her Crocs right now. Saved her feet.
Dale's wearing Crocs. Awesome. Good.
Mr. Jeffrey, we had a company by the same name here in my hometown, but they went out of business.
Yeah. Okay. So I remember that as well. But that was a different company. I don't know.
I guess so. Yeah.
All right. New comment. I think Birdman. New comment.
Yeah, Birdman.
Says I have frozen bowls and freezer like forks over knives for emergencies when I'm hangry. Yeah, that actually is a good use for these things. Having them in there for emergencies, like when you just forgot to make dinner or didn't have plans for dinner, that could work. So I like that. Forks over knives, they're probably healthier too than most of these things. Purple carrot makes them, I think, fairly healthy ones too. All right, more stuff about shoes. Steven likes Wicked. Wow, so Wicked's in Tesco in the UK. I didn't know that. Interesting. All right, good. Glad to hear. Okay, like we said, week before Thanksgiving. I can't believe we're already in the week before Thanksgiving. It's like 9 days away from now. It just came out of nowhere. Well, it didn't. As soon as Halloween ended, it just seemed like Thanksgiving was so close. So here it is.
Yeah,
it's coming. I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving this year. I'm not a huge Thanksgiving guy, as I've made known, but it's a nice day. I enjoy the day. It's just I don't know.
Are you doing anything? Are you traveling anywhere?
No, I'm pretty sure we'll end up just being here and cooking things ourselves. Possibly my parents, one or both, might come, but don't know. How about you? Because going to Rhode Island or no? You're going to California, right?
That's Christmas. We're staying here for Thanksgiving. We're gonna go, I think, that weekend to my sister's house, but we'll be here for Thanksgiving.
Okay, good. We haven't discussed our Thanksgiving show schedule yet.
I know.
We figure that out.
Figure this out. That's right.
Might need a week off. I need to just
take
this. All right. So this is from apnews.com, meaning I guess it's mainstream, big visibility. I don't really know that for sure, though. The headline is "One Feast to Please Them All: How to Satisfy Meat Eaters, Vegetarians, and Vegans at Thanksgiving." It's by someone named Katie Workman. And here's the premise. She says, these days it seems more an anomaly than the norm, a Thanksgiving without a vegan or vegetarian at the table. That seems a stretch to me, but I hope that's true. Wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
She says, we've had them our entire life. Her sister, now her daughter, the daughters of her sister, were vegetarian, now vegan. Mother became a vegetarian later in life. So, I mean, people probably are having this, right? The parents watch Forks Over Knives and then go vegetarian, vegan. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure it affects a lot of people. And she said, there's no way anyone leaves a Workman family Thanksgiving anything less than full and happy. So we bring it for everyone. And she then presents the ideas for kind of doing what sounds like flexitarian style cooking, where you're making things in different ways so that everyone gets what they want.
Yeah, the summary is, the short of it is that we make plenty of meat-free sides, including some that are substantial enough to feel entree-like for non-meat eaters.
Yep.
And we make modifications to certain dishes to make them vegan if possible.
Right. No mention of vegan roasts or what the vegans get instead of the turkey or the vegetarians, except for what you said there, that they kind of feel like, substantial enough to feel entree-like. So there you go. That might be your entree instead of any sort of vegan roast. So she goes through these things. To me, this is a little bit, I don't mean to be complaining here, because I do like this idea of going out of your way to make sure the vegans and vegetarians have food. A-okay in my book. That is a wonderful thing. But like when you make the stuffing, she drizzles in, so she separates it out so that one of the pans gets the turkey pan juices drizzled over them. And then if you want to make your other pan vegan, not just vegetarian, use vegan butter to saute the vegetables instead of regular butter. But then I'm just thinking, like, why not just make one stuffing and just don't drizzle the turkey juices and then just use vegan butter anyway? And then I don't think meat eaters are going to get upset by that. I don't think they even notice that. Right. And I think as I'm saying this, I don't like how I'm sounding, because I think that sounds like a vegan who wants even more. You offer them something and they say, no, that's not enough. So
make everybody eat my vegan food.
But it just sounds a little overcomplicated. So I don't know. Like I said, very grateful for anyone putting an article out like this, suggesting that we should adapt for vegans and vegetarians. Then she says, you might also consider vegan sausage or crumbled meat substitute in the stuffing. Seitan is also a good addition to vegan stuffings. So there you go. That could also seem a little bit more main course like, I guess.
Yeah, a little entree like.
I've never heard of that. I didn't know people put meat in stuffing. You ever heard of that?
No.
Seems weird to me. I don't know why you'd want that when the stuffing is stuffing a meat.
Mm-hmm.
So it just seems like excess. All right, then she gets the mashed potatoes. Same idea. All the potatoes get boiled together, then they pass through a food mill or a ricer, and then one batch gets milk, cream, butter. The other plant-based milk, olive oil, and vegan butter. Here I can see maybe the difference. Like maybe some people might say these don't taste as good because they're vegan. Maybe they're missing some of the richness. So I can understand why you'd make two batches here, more so than the stuffing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then she says salad is good. This is just a pure vegan thing. No mention of the non-vegan alternative for the salad.
Drizzle the turkey juice over top of the salad for the non-vegan eaters. Yeah.
Just to make sure they can eat this thing.
Uh-huh.
I don't usually have salad at Thanksgiving. I don't think. Do you? Am I just forgetting this?
No, I don't have salad.
Yeah, it seems too green and fresh for a Thanksgiving table, which should be brown and white and plain looking.
Like multiple shades of brown and beige.
Right.
And and then maybe some like beets that are like dark red.
Right.
That's it.
Right. Earth tones. I think a salad could be a nice little lunchtime thing. She mentions in her next thing that they make a vegan soup for lunch to inhale while they are cooking the dinner. And that's not a bad idea. But I think salad could serve as a nice Thanksgiving lunch where you want to eat something, but you don't want to be too full. You want to save room for Thanksgiving dinner. So anyways, when she says soup, she mentions mushroom barley, split pea, curried pumpkin soup, butternut squash soup. So yeah, lots of these Thanksgiving creamy soups. Not creamy, but thick soups. They're very easy to be vegan. They're probably vegan as is, but she does mention subbing in vegan products for any dairy ingredients, offering non-vegan garnishes on the side. So again, very flexible, and I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Roasted and baked vegetables. I mean, that's basic. Obviously, that's not obviously. If you do it with olive oil, it's going to turn out to be vegan, and that's good. Any sort of cheese or anything you'd put separate. All right. Then she mentions grain salads, which is a side dish, main dish hybrid, grain and veggie based thing. There's no leafy greens in this salad, I don't think. This is just like you take a vegetable, you take a legume, and an olive oil based dressing, toss it all together, and you get something hearty. I like this kind of deal. This is what I would bring to a Thanksgiving if I were going to.
I would throw some seitan in this type of salad.
Yeah, you're right. That'd be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd have something that could be your main dish if there wasn't going to be one for you at the table.
Yeah.
And finally, desserts. She kind of sells the vegan desserts a little short. She says, for vegetarians, not usually an issue, but for vegans, it's tough. And her sister says it's getting easier all the time. She's going to perfect her vegan cheesecake this year. But I think for the past 8 years, vegan desserts have been as good as non-vegan desserts. They just are. I don't really eat almost any of them, but when I do, I don't notice any difference in the vegan stuff. The vegan butter works fine.
Go to your local grocery store and get an apple pie, and chances are it's vegan.
Is that right? Because it's so bad. It's so UPF.
Uh-huh.
Is that true? I don't really know. Are they?
Ingles and Giant. Giant in DC and Ingles here. Both of them are accidentally vegan. Yeah.
Because they use like vegetable shortening for the flaky stuff.
I mean,
it's
not good for you at all. But,
no butter in the mix, in the apple mix?
No. In a pinch, you get that vegan pie. I mean, I would check the ingredients. Don't want to take my word for it, but
right.
Yeah, at Ingles anyway, you get that, heat it up in the microwave, throw a little vegan ice cream on top.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to make your own pie on Thanksgiving?
No, I mean on Thanksgiving, of course, but it's like I don't know if you're in a pinch,
regular day.
you just want to eat.
You just need an apple pie.
Yeah, you don't need apple pie very much.
Never, unless we make it. I mean, this is a special occasion, and which we did a month ago because my daughter said she'd never had it.
Oh, man,
so we did what normal people do and made an apple pie because it was a once a year thing.
I'd say I have 5 apple pies a year.
Oh my god, the whole thing?
No. Like 5 times I will have a slice of apple pie.
And who eats the rest? Your family? Like you serve it at the house?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question.
Have tacos and then pie for dessert?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I mean, it's never like just like a random Tuesday that we're eating apple pie, but it's like some sort of potluck or I don't even know. I have no idea why I get apple pies, but they happen. It happens.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. Well, next week, whatever shows we do next week, we'll tell you what we're having for Thanksgiving. I'm gonna figure out something good to have. I don't know what. Some sort of. I mean, I'll make up a little. Obviously, if we're hosting it, we're gonna have a menu. But I'd like to have something good, like Garuda Legends here mentions rum cake. Give me vegan rum cake for dessert. Rum cake is vegan. So I don't know about that. I've had a few rum cakes ever in my day, and they were okay. But
that'd be fun.
I'd like to find some sort of fancy thing involves alcohol in the cooking. I'd like to make something like that. So I'll search around for something good.
Carmen says that the Dia pizza. Wait, was it Dia pizza and cheese? Oh wait, is great, but their cheesecake is awesome. So
really?
There you go. Never had the Dia cheesecake. Never even seen it. Is it like frozen? Probably in the frozen section, be my guess.
Yeah, it does kind of sound familiar. I think I have seen that, but I don't think I've ever had it. I did not think their pizza was good, so that might mean that I wouldn't think their cheesecake's good either. I don't know. Okay, and then let's see. Birdman says, I grew up with oyster stuffing, so that was in response to meat in stuffings. Mr. Jeffrey said he grew up with Italian sausage in the stuffing, so there you go. People do that. Garuda Legend says, I think it is a good idea to have at least 2 vegan dishes, 1 vegan side and 1 vegan main. Yeah, if you did that, and I showed up at that dinner, no complaints whatsoever. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't complain even if there was nothing. But I'd be very happy to have 1 side and 1 meal if I was a guest in someone's house. And in fact, I'd bring the side. Yeah, and then a nice apple pie from the store that happens to be vegan.
Perfect.
All right, anything else here?
Not really. Oh, wait. Okay, so Carmen corrects. Pizza is not great.
Not great. Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and they are in the frozen section, the cheesecakes. So there you go. I might try that. I don't know about
even though even with that rug pull they did on us with their pyramid.
Was that Dia? That was Dia, wasn't it?
Yeah. But then
they apologized. The naughty list.
Then they apologized, as we said.
But I still haven't got my coupons. So when I get my coupons, maybe.
Britters gets a vegan pecan or pecan, Doug. Which one do you say?
Pecan.
I think I would say pecan too, but Aaron says pecan.
I love pecan pie.
Really?
Yes.
What is it? What's in you can't have a whole pie out of pecans, right?
No, they're like on top. It's like kind of this thick molassesy type thing.
Is there like a filling inside of that's what's under the crust?
Yeah.
Or the whole thing's one. Okay. There's a crust and there's a thick molasses thing.
Yeah.
I may have never had that.
You ever had shoe fly pie?
No.
Talk about molassesy thing. Oh man, it's just so good. It's like just straight up sugar, I think. But I have no idea what's in it, but it's so good.
All right. I will take your word for it. Unless I come across some shoe fly pie one day and then I'll have some. All right. We're out of time. We'll be back tomorrow. We got tomorrow. We'll do this vegan versus non-vegan meat smackdown, which we were going to get to today. Hopefully, we'll get to it tomorrow, unless it gets bumped for something better.
I liked this article. I think we should do it tomorrow.
I did too. It was sort of a fair treatment for the vegan products. I thought by the author of some book about ultra processed food,
and it has nearly 900 comments, so there's some good stuff in there.
I can't even look at those. I get too angry.
Yeah,
don't even try. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, everyone. Enjoy your Tuesday, start to the week in our world, our 3-day week world. Yeah, get some tacos. Enjoy your day, and we will see you tomorrow for Wednesday. Have a good one.
Bye, everybody.